Hello everyone, my name is Tumaris and I am your biology teacher. Today we are going to talk about the main parts of the plant cell. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to describe the main components and their functions. Before starting the lesson, let me ask the question. How do you think what are our organisms are made of? Yeah, good job. That's a cell. And that's why it's very important to know their functions and the components. From this picture you can see this outer layer of the cell called cell membrane. Let me write it down here. Cell membrane is responsible and controls what goes in and out of the cell. For example, we have nutrients. Nutrients have to enter the cell because our plant needs it. But what about the waste? Waste have to leave the cell, so all of these processes will be happen in this cell membrane. I hope everything is clear. And another component called nucleus. Nucleus, you can think of it like a brain of the cell because all of activities that happens inside of the cell will be controlled by this nucleus. Also, nucleus contains the genetic material which is called DNA. Let me write it down also. DNA. Now let's talk about these components which takes huge part of the cell. We call it vacuole. Vacuole is responsible to store the water and the other nutrients that our plant needs. Let me write it down here. It's water. And another main part is endoplasmic reticulum. Endoplasmic reticulum locates near to the nucleus, and we have two main parts or two main types. For example, this one is a ribosome called rough endoplasmic reticulum, and another one called smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Endoplasmic reticulum like the post officer because it responsible to storing, modifying and sending materials inside of the cell. And what about this green component? This green component called chloroplast. Chloroplast, and the chloroplast responsible to making the food by the help of the sunlight. We call this process photosynthesis, and I hope in the future we will discuss about it also. But now you have to know that photosynthesis will be happen in this chloroplast. About this small and reddish component, this is mitochondria. Mitochondria is like a power station of our plant because the energy will be made in this mitochondria and stored also in this mitochondria. We need this energy to all the fractions inside of the cell, and there are also another functions and the processes. Now let's talk about this component which is called Golgi apparatus. And the Golgi apparatus is also responsible to transferring of the materials inside and out of the cell. I think we already talked about all main components, and another significant one is this is jelly-like structure which is called cytoplasm. Cytoplasm is responsible to holding all of these components together, and all of activities will be happen in this cytoplasm. So I think we already covered all components and their functions. I hope that today's lesson was interesting and engageable. So thanks for your attention. Bye!